Hello, hello. This is going to be a video for the water element, water signs Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. I will eventually, throughout, after getting these messages out, this is just kind of how I feel pulled to do it right now. After I get these messages out, then I might start back into the zodiac reads, but for right now, I'm kind of being pulled in a different direction, and just to kind of stay with the elements for right now. This is also really important to remember to connect with the elements as well, like connect with earth, connect with air, connect with water, connect with fire, because in all actual reality we do have all of those elements somewhere in one way, shape, or form in our chart. And it might not be in some of your more major placements, but the deeper you dig, the more you'd be surprised at what you find out. So always keep that in mind. But let's get started here. Water signs, what am I feeling? So the deck's not quite ready yet, but the Sun card in this specific deck just popped out. So I'm feeling optimism for a majority of what's about to take place. Like, despite the situation, I'm talking about internal things here. We're not talking about the outside world. I feel like you guys are in a pretty good place despite what's going on. There's a huge call for the water signs to be very fluid during this time, because I feel like a lot of people are relying on you for like advice or to talk to, or to just pull them out of like whatever. Like if you are dealing with somebody who gets kind of caught up in their head a lot and they get caught in like thought loops, like you might be helping other people come out of that to like escape and to find joy, to find happiness again. So that's beautiful. There's something that you're figuring out. You're finding the last piece of the puzzle. Like you're putting the last piece of the puzzle together. And you're seeing the bigger picture. There's a huge focus right now on seeing the bigger picture, seeing something from a bird's eye view, seeing something from above, or changing your perspective on it. You could be exhausted, you could be like unsettled. Like this transition might cause some anxiety, or it might stir up some emotions. I also feel like you've come in contact with another individual who has been kind of triggering you, whether it be right out in the open triggering you, or this person's like subconsciously triggering stuff in you, where now you're like not sleeping well at night, or like you have restless nights, or maybe you have anxiety and you don't really know where it's coming from. You're experiencing like interesting physiological symptoms that are associated with coming in contact with another person who in one way, shape, or form fills out this big puzzle. Like, it's like they're the missing piece of the puzzle, or they have the missing piece of the puzzle, or you have the missing piece of the puzzle. And it's like a collaborative effort. You might actually be working on puzzles, like actually like putting your mind to work and just kind of like doing little puzzles, doing whatever it might be, like mindful exercise. You might be alert to something as well. It's really funny because as soon as I started this read, my dogs really seemed to respond to this energy, just like they did for, I think it was the air signs. Hold on 1 second. So you might be alerted to something, or like you're on high alert. There's something about there's some type of inner peace that's being found right now. You guys are in a lot of blue. Like there's a lot of blue. The color blue is very prominent for you right now, so you might be drawn to it. It's a very healing color. It's a very peaceful color. You're coming into an awareness too. You're seeing beyond the illusion of something, or you're removing the veil, so to speak. You might have experienced even a past life regression. Again, I'm seeing another energy here where it's like you could be aligning with somebody who is triggering past life stuff, or even just like unresolved things. like past experiences, past life, like whatever, however deep it goes. It's being pulled to the surface. It's being pulled to the surface so that it can be acknowledged. Yeah. There's definitely some bigger picture that's going on right now for you, water signs, where like you're kind of being tested in a way. It's like spirit's keeping a watchful eye on you, but you're progressing the way that you should be, and it's like you're being watched, and like the guides that are watching you are like, they're like cheering you on. They're cheering you on because it's like you're unveiling something, you're revealing something, you're putting in the work, and like your work is not going unnoticed is what I'm picking up on. You might get a phone call from somebody, because I just got my phone just randomly started ringing, and I never get phone calls. So you might be getting a phone call from somebody from your past, or somebody who's new but feels familiar. Wow, that's a lot of blue that has come out for you. Like, hold on, I gotta show you guys. Like, all this blue has come out for you. Like, that's blue, blue, blue. Like, that's a huge color for you, especially right now during this time. But you're being asked to see things from a higher perspective, go with the flow, because there's something that's revealing itself to you. You're seeing beyond the veil. And they're asking you to just kind of go with it. Like, just go with the flow, be at ease. You might have just moved out of a time frame where you felt really exhausted all the time. It's like you might have hit a point where now you're in the process of like a healing, because this kind of just took me to a healing space where it's like you're relaxing from being exhausted for so many years. It's like something being reactivated within you that might have been dormant because of something that had been going on for like years and years and years. Like, you have been so tired for so long, and now you're finally able to kind of release that so that you can rest, so that you can rejuvenate. This is very peaceful. It's a very peaceful read. There's something that's very peaceful about it. This is definitely a time for you to go within. There's also a focus on making sure that you're letting go of what no longer serves you, letting go of like old identities that no longer serve you, things that you no longer subscribe to, like belief systems and stuff. It's a shedding of that, because you're figuring something out. There was something that was complex, but you're in the process of completing it. So you might actually be coming up on like the ending of a very hard cycle or a very hard lesson that you've been learning. And this time is meant for you to take out and to really dive deep within yourself, to put the pieces of your own puzzle together so that you can see your truth, and to feel at ease with it, to go with the flow with it. So you have the Six of Cups, so it's definitely something from your past coming back around. If you're not connecting with anybody, this is definitely... if you're not connecting with anybody, this is something that's resurfacing from the past that has stressed you out for an extended period of time. It was a lot of weight to carry. And you're finally putting it down. You're seeing it from a bird's eye view. You're seeing it for the bigger picture. You're seeing it from a new point of view, from a new perspective, and you're putting all the pieces of the puzzle together so that you can let this go, because it's something from the past that you've been carrying for a long time. Like, you've been carrying it for a long time. You might have just been like extremely exhausted for a prolonged period of time and like not known why. And you're like, why am I so tired? Why can I not get enough sleep? Like, what is it that's going on? Like, you might have actually like gone as far to think that like maybe medically something was wrong. Like, this exhaustion is like unbelievable. I feel like I could like go pass out and just sleep for like 10 hours. Like, whatever it was that you were carrying, whatever it was that you were holding on to, it's being released from you. Like, you're figuring out something. You're seeing the pattern in something. It's like dues being paid off. Like, I don't know how else to explain that. There's a lot of attraction to somebody, too. Like, there's somebody who you're being attracted to. You two are, like, coming together, like, what is it? You guys are attracting, like, magnets, but, like, magnets can't get too close together because, like, you can't actually push two magnets together. So, like, you're being, like, drawn to somebody, drawn to a situation, pulled to a situation, pulled to communicate a situation, pulled to raise awareness of something, pulled to raise communicational awareness of some type of something. We have the Sun card here, and that came out in the pre-shuffle before the deck was ready, so it's the second time the Sun card has come out for you, water signs. That's something that's very positive and happy. This is like a, for me, this is like revitalization. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. You're like being rejuvenized. It's like figuring out like you're putting all the equation together and you're solving this perfect equation for like your mass opening. Like you're opening and vibrating on such a deep level. And there's also a very spiritual-esque energy about this card of radiating sunlight from yourself to the outside world. Like, and there's actually three people in the Sun card. It's like you're recognizing the divinity within yourself, you're connecting with your higher self, and you're connecting with Source. And then I'm also seeing a situation where there's two people who could be at a distance from each other, which would make sense because of what's going on right now, who are connecting on a different level, on a soul level, on like a bond. It's like two planes coming together. There's like a veil it's very thin right now. And it's affecting the water signs, or people who have strong water placement, or who are in water energy, I should say. What is this? Ooh. Wow. Water signs, water. You can probably tell where I'm from. Okay. Sorry. You guys, water signs, you guys are coming in alignment with somebody. For sure. Like, now granted, this could be all about you. It could be. It very much well could be. Finding emotional contentment, finding peace within yourself. I feel a very strong presence of multiple energies, and that's just probably because I'm, connecting to all three signs, and all of you guys are, individuals who live your own lives, who have your own experiences, correct? Not every single person is going to relate to every single reading. It's just impossible. And this is just a generalized reading. So, what I feel as a soulmate could be somebody very close to you in a family or in a friendship, or it could be a romantic situation. It most definitely could be. It could be somebody from your past. But this is a alignment of like pure divinity. Like, you would feel like a magnetic attraction with this person, and like no matter how hard you fought to like stay away from that person, like you would always get pulled back together, or you would come back together at some point in time. Like, you would just collaborate over and over and over again, but like every time you guys would meet back up, it would be like, oh, this isn't the right time, or energetically it just would not be the right time. I just looked up and saw 444 on the clock when I said that. Like, there's a connection that's trying to come into alignment because the both energies are like ready to come into alignment. And this is two people who have a very 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 strong spiritual contract to fulfill, because they're working together to do something very very spiritual. Like, I have chills all over my body. This is somebody who's very grounded, somebody who's very wise, somebody who's very connected. It could very much well be you, like, it could very much well be you coming in as this energy of being very grounded, being very secure, being very wise, or that's the energy that you're moving towards. But there's an energy that's so intertwined with the water energy right now. And if I had to take a wild guess at what energy I would be picking up on, this is very flowy, so I'm going to say air. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It's like two things coming together. Two elements coming together. Strong earth, strong fire. Again, like, there's every element on the board, so it's really hard to just pinpoint it. But you do have the Sun card, which is Leo energy. I feel personally a Piscean energy as well. You have a Gemini energy on the board with the Lovers, and then you have the Ten of Cups, which is Cancer, for me as a reader. This is a union of two people, and it's like when you guys come together, like, when these two people come together, it's like, this is so hard to put into words. Even though there's like social distancing and the whole quarantine and stuff, I know that it's difficult to come together with individuals. But there's a reason why everything is playing out the way that it's playing out right now. Like, in the past, you guys weren't ready. In the present, you guys are ready. And in a odd turn of events, there's meant to be distance right now, because it's meant to be a healing time. It's meant to be a time to go deep, deep, deep within yourself and to figure out what is it that your soul wants, what is it that you want to pursue, what is it that you want to go after, what is it that you visualize for your life. Like, not manifesting, visualization, because there's a difference between the two. Visualization is something that you can do for the good of the collective if you do it the right way. And again, it's not manifestation. Like, you can visualize yourself being a star or being the sun and just radiating light, not sending light, radiating light, because as you radiate, it illuminates and it attracts and it inspires other people to illuminate their light and to radiate their light. And this is so deep. It's like two people are being pulled together. And then there's a collaboration, and it's like, I would be very careful if at the end of this whole, like, when it's finally okay to, like, hang out with people and stuff, like, if you meet up with this person and if you know who this person is, because there's a chance you might not have met them yet. But this is a familiar energy, especially with the Six of Cups. This is something that comes from the past or feels familiar, so you would know exactly who I'm talking about. This wouldn't be somebody who fights you. This wouldn't be somebody who tries to, like, distance themselves from you. This is someone who is just as engaged as you are when it comes to pursuing, when it comes to giving you attention, when it comes to responding. Like, this isn't a bullshit connection where there's games being played. This is somebody who knows, there's a person deep down who knows what the connection is, and the other person is still figuring it out. And when I say the person is still figuring it out, I mean that person is aware that the other person is someone special to them, and they don't treat them like shit. You see what I'm saying? Because people get that mixed up, and they find odd excuses to, you know, write off bad behavior when it comes from people who might just be karmic, or, you know, might just be somebody who's there to, like, teach lessons, whatever the case may be. This is somebody who touches your inner child, somebody who triggers vulnerability in ways that you've never experienced vulnerability. Like, this is someone who you've always felt safe with, who you have such a deep, profound connection with. Like, you can't deny it. It might actually scare you. This is the type of person where, like, say for example, you're a girl and you have a guy best friend, and this guy best friend has been there for 10 plus years, and they've been so unconditionally loving and supportive, and you both know that you have a connection, but the both of you have never pursued anything because it's just never been the right time, quote unquote. Like, that's kind of the person who I'm talking about, where it's somebody directly in front of you, but they might not be like your exact type, or like there's something about them that you're just like, like, is it really them? Is it really them? Like, think about it. Listen to your soul when it comes to this person, because there's a connection on the board that's coming together that has been weighing very heavily on an individual. I feel feminine. This connection has been weighing very heavy on a feminine energy. Maybe because they know what kind of connection this is, but there's source, or whoever you source from, whoever you subscribe to as a higher power, guides, ascendant masters, who are watching this take place, watching this come down, watching this whole evolution of a relationship take place. And it's been like a long time coming, but there's somebody who's still healing in this process, but they've been illuminated to something. They see something for what it is. And then you have the Lovers here, which is like making a decision, which it doesn't always have to be between people. It can be a decision within yourself to go towards emotional fulfillment, to let something go from the past because you found something that sparked that passion, that light, that drive back in you to make that decision for your own emotional contentment. But if you're definitely connecting with somebody, like, you would 100% know, like, this is somebody who most likely, if you don't have kids, you're gonna have kids with them. Like, there's a family here, there's pets here. It's the happy family, it's the loving family, it's spiritual work, it's spiritual practice, like the whole family's spiritual. It's something for a higher purpose that's coming out of this union of people. And granted, this might not happen in a week or 2 weeks. This might take 3 months. It might take 5 years. You can't put a timeline. Like, you cannot put a timeline on energy. Like, energy is you can't put a timeline on it. Like, I'm sorry, it just doesn't work that way. You can estimate roughly like how long projected time frame, but to be completely honest, everybody's moving on their own journey, so you can't depict a time here. But this is a union that's going to come forward, and it involves a water energy and air energy, and honestly every other element, but primarily there's strong water and strong air, and it's a union of like a union, like a full-blown union. Putting the final pieces of the puzzle together. Now, if you are not connecting with a person and you're single, like totally single, you are aligning with the vibrational energy that you're wishing to attract within your life to create emotional fulfillment. You are making a choice within yourself to come together, to balance, to project to project the energy that you wish to get back, because in my belief, like, whatever you put out, you get back 3 times. So if you put out good vibrations and you put out loving energy to everyone, even people who piss you off and make you so mad you could just, go nuts, like, even those people who trigger those heavy emotions within you, like, the more love that you can, the more that you can transmute that negative energy into positive energy, the better off you're going to be. Because what people don't realize is that everything that you put out, like all the fear that you put out, all the anxiety that you put out, it comes back to you 3 times as much. So the more that you can vibrate and operate on a peaceful level within yourself, the easier all of this is going to be. The easier this is to take place, the easier it is for everything to come back together. And I do see positivity of people coming back together in this reading specifically as well. Like, I see the separation, I see the boxed in, like, being isolated, and then we have, the events, the 10 of Wands, things that are heavy, stressing us out, but then we have this beaming sun that comes through, and then you have the collaboration of people who come together, because you go from being isolated to being in the arms of other people and to align with other people. This is really positive, so I feel positivity coming off of this, but this is definitely a time for you guys, water signs, to really take time out, take care of yourself. Make sure you're definitely taking care of your energy and your auras, because You guys right now are like, I don't, how do I want to say this? Like, you guys might be getting leaned on by other people around you for support or to make them feel better, or, you know, to ease their anxiety. Like, people might be coming to you and wanting that comfort, wanting that nurture. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself in that process. You could be aligning with an earth sign as well. It doesn't have to be, you know, this is just, like, I'm not saying that the person who you're aligning with is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It's just they are in that energy very strongly, like very, very intellectual, communicative, like there's communication. Or there will be communication if there's not already. But again, if you're connecting with somebody, then you know for damn sure exactly who it is. And if you're not connecting with anybody, then you are connecting within yourself. You are taking this energy and this whirlwind of crazy stuff that's going on, and you are transmuting that into the most positive energy that you possibly can for yourself, so that you can radiate and be a star of positivity for the people around you, because it seems like a lot of people are relying on your insight, on your wisdom, on your nurturing abilities. Like, you're going to have a lot of people who are attracted to you during this time, who just want to talk to you or like be with you or be around you because you bring them great comfort. But this is also recognizing what it is that you want out of emotional fulfillment, instead of, you know, listening to what everybody else says on the outside world. Instead of focusing on the past, you're generating something new for yourself. And it's something that brings you a lot of positivity. And then we have the High Priestess to top it all off. And it's like there's messages that are coming through for you. This is something that is... There's messages that are coming through, but there's a need to ground yourself. There's a need to listen to the elements. Like I said earlier in the read, like, there's something very, very important about the elements. Like, all of them being recognized, being worked with in positivity, with love, to give love back to them. Again, there's something about some type of veil that's going to come. It's just going to be thin for a minute. I say that like it's just a minute, but no, there is going to be a time frame where this veil is going to be very thin, and there's going to be a lot of energy that channels through. You might be feeling the effects of it with your throat chakra and with your head chakra. Oh my gosh, crown chakra. There's a need to balance perspective, transformation, and wisdom. Like, there's also an energy on the board who's very in control of what it is that they're going through in the moment, whether you feel like it or not. You're actually very in tune with it, very connected, very grounded. You have all the elements and all the things that you need in order to do something. You might actually be having achy hands, like your hands might be aching, or like you it's like like flare-ups of something with your hands, where there's just, it's a lot of energy that's coming through you, and it's got to come out your hands. So you have to, like, make sure that you're moving the energy through your body. Make sure you're moving energy, like dance, move, yoga. Do something to move the energy from your hands, because the more it builds up, the more it will ache. And this might be happening to some people who are going through awakening processes and who are awakening to certain things. Like, healers who have been asleep for a very long time are starting to wake up because of they're being triggered. you might be like, what is all this? Like, what are all these, like, whoa, like, what is going on? Like, my body feels weird, my head's tingling, it's itchy, my scalp's really itchy all of a sudden, my skin's really sensitive, all of a sudden I'm having these weird responses to things I've never had responses to. Like, pay attention to the stuff you're going through, pay attention to your body, listen to your body, keep a journal, document what it is that you're going through, whatever it is that you're experiencing, especially when it comes to, like, synchronicities and whatnot. Pay attention to that stuff, because you have the infinite knowledge of what it is that you want. Like, you have the intuition, you're grounded, you're stable, you have the ability. It's like you're looking at whatever it is, you're staring it right down. There's also a message that's coming through here of, like, Earth basically, like, standing up for itself and protecting itself against something. It's like being ready for a battle. Like, I'm not sure what that means. It's like Earth's ready for a battle. Or it's ready to, like, fight something, which makes sense. I mean, we have the virus right now, so it's like the Earth trying to, like, rejuvenate itself, kickstart that energy back up. Honestly, I'm being pulled to talk about this. The more that you can visualize a world that is greener, happier, healthier, but start with you. Like, hold space. Don't send. Just hold space for what it is that you want to see in this world. Like, hold space for that. Hold space for the people who are sick, who are going through this, who are being negatively affected by all of this stuff. Like, hold space for all of those people, and just remember when I talked earlier about radiating light and making sure that you have that light within you. Excuse me. Oh my god, I honestly think that happened in the last video. I just have one sneeze and I'm like, okay. Unusual. Hold that light within yourself, like, and just imagine yourself a star, and radiate all that goodness, all that love, all that is pure, all that is love. Radiate that out. Like, don't send it anywhere, just radiate it and hold space for the ones who come to you in that time. Especially people who have suffered, who have lost their lives. You know, even consider this, like, even radiate light to the planet, to the Amazon. We just had all those fires and stuff. In California, we just had fires and whatnot. A couple months back, I think. I know the Amazon one was a couple months back, but there were so many things that happened at once. It was almost hard for me to even look at the news for a period of time, because I'm so sensitive. It just really upsets me. Hold space for everything. Like, hold space for the planet and visualize and see the earth healthy, see the earth strong, see the earth happy, see it, you know, releasing negativity, but fill it with positivity and just radiate that light. Like, be careful with your intention, of course. Like, always have good intent whenever you do stuff like this. Like, not that, well, granted, you know, I just saw 33 on the clock when I said that. So pay attention, mind, body, spirit. Like, Sandra Ingerman, I believe her name is. I'm blanking for some reason. My brain is just, like, skipping. She discusses really good tools and methods when it comes to visualization and any type of meditate practice. So instead of me blabbering on about it, I will leave that with you guys so that you guys can do your own research about how to hold space and find what resonates with you, find what speaks to you. Again, like, when you think about everything, this is a big time of change, and water signs are definitely intuitively being impacted by this, where you guys are feeling everything on such a deep level, and it's very important to remember that you have all the ability, all the power that you need to transmute any negative energy that you may be experiencing. And with this, sorry, I'm like trying to figure out what this message is. There's something else that's trying to come through. This is like, this is like knowing that all of your guides, all of your ancestors, all of your lineage, all of the descendants, all of the ones who have come before us, they are cheering us on in this process. Like, Earth is trying. What message is this? I'm seeing like an image of like Earth like being a warrior. Like Earth like fighting something off, battling something, but not in a scary type of way, more or less like a spiritual battle. Like it's something very high up. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going down that far. Not during that path. Nope. Not going down that path. Nope, 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 nope. Despite that, it is a very positive read. This is very, very positive. This is recognizing something for a higher purpose, overcoming something for a higher purpose, coming together for a higher purpose. Yeah. That's where I'll leave it. It's coming together for a higher purpose. It's really what it is. I can't really break it down any other way. So I'm sorry if this wasn't your read or if this doesn't make any sense to you. I do apologize. But, you know, I got to put the message out there. And I can't always pick and choose what comes out. So I appreciate all the support and all the love. And I will connect with you guys soon. And I wish you the best. And I hope everybody is, you know, staying healthy and, you know, trying to keep that positivity within them during a time that is very fear-based. But just remember, don't feed into the fear, feed into the positivity, feed into, you know, the things that make you you. Just disconnect from the outside world for a little while if you can. So I'll talk to you soon.